Wrestling, the American Adversaries.
Okay, welcome back to the show, folks. I want to thank you very much for being with us. If you're listening now, you're listening on am660theanswer.com or on your smart device, and we so very much appreciate that. You are dedicated fans indeed, and we love you. We love you every minute for it. I am Christopher Hart, along with the chairman of the board, Mike McMath. He's just,
Chris, I have to ask you a question. It just came across me. Now I'm upset.
What's that?
Listen, what are we going to do if Donald Trump isn't doing Miss USA, right?
Yeah, right.
In Miss America?
No, Miss Universe.
Miss Universe.
Yeah.
Now, they're off the air. I hope somebody's going to step in. I got a feeling he's just going to buy a channel. You know what I mean?
Wait,
I believe they're going to reappear. I don't believe this is the end of those two shows. Do you?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
What's interesting is that the Miss USA pageant, the rumor was Jenner was going to be one of the judges. You would think that NBC wouldn't want to jeopardize that, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're talking about the ratings, huh?
But you know what? I mean, think about it. Supposedly they were very profitable. It was a joint venture. So all Don has to do, which he knows, he just goes to another channel. Hey, we'll do it there. Great. Okay. Because I don't want to miss those shows.
And he'll sue NBC.
Yeah.
And it'll work for him politically speaking. Because he'll be fighting, a bigger foe, a foe that, represents NBC News, represents MSNBC, represents Al Sharpton. Conservatives love it.
I know. I was going to say, what a great court battle that'll be when they try to degrade Trump and then he puts it back. Well, let's take a look at this show, and then this, and then Al Sharpton, and oh boy.
I mean, of course, they're kicking out the That's yeah. Celebrity Apprentice goes with it, so that's one of the biggest money makers.
Yeah.
Celebrity Apprentice.
Well, I guess they're trying to control how they get
Jeb Bush has decided to release 33 years of tax returns. Keep them that long.
Yeah, that's sort of strange. I mean, I wonder if he really has 33 years.
My
concern is I'd be afraid that if they saw 30, they'd start back on it.
Well,
you know, Mike, you owe $1,500, 33 years, compounded at 10%, that's $7 billion.
What? The IRS probably doesn't have all of those years records on him. But
you said there was a certain point that you don't have to keep them.
But if they were to audit him going back, I think it is 3 years, and find a mistake, they can go back indefinitely looking for mistakes. Be careful there, Jeb.
Yeah, I don't know. That's, but, as we mentioned a little bit earlier, I mean, he's forcing transparency.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure a lot of them are going, hey, Joe, what'd you do that for?
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I mean,
Yeah. But hopefully it will be used to put pressure on another candidate on the other side.
Right.
Hillary Clinton.
When the public would love to see her tax returns. I think that could be a show in itself.
Did you hear about...
Every week you would have a segment.
Yeah.
Okay, 1988. Yeah.
2000. Did you hear about that it was one of these man-on-the-street type things where they went, I believe it was to a college camp. I forget where it was, to be honest with you, but they surveyed people, showed them photographs of houses. These were like million-dollar mansions.
That was great.
And do you remember where it was?
No, but they were, whose houses.
Yeah, well, they showed them these houses.
I think it was another California college.
It was, and something like that. And they asked the
Diego
people,
State or something like
who do these houses belong to? And the two people that were most referred to were Marco Rubio and Ben Carson. Now, Ben Carson, I can understand.
$11.5 million.
I know, but Ben Carson's a brain surgeon. You figure they make a lot of money. But Marco Rubio, I mean, but
I mean, he only got an $80,000 boat. How can you have a $1 million house?
It turns out all of the houses were Clinton houses, either present or past. And the people couldn't believe it.
You know what's neat about that?
Not that they didn't have these houses, but that they had that kind of money.
But won't it be fun when she's actually officially nominated, and then she starts on college campus and stuff, and have those people sitting outside when she's speaking out, and they go, "What's she?"
Yeah.
Would you like to paint her $11.5 million house?
Yeah.
Oh, I think that would be so much fun because she's such a fraud.
Such a fraud. Yeah.
I know. She's one of you. No, I don't think so. Get off the lawn.
Yeah.
Get in the back of the line.
That's right. That's right. And then, of course, there's a story out last couple of days about how she's tooling around on these private jets, right? And then giving these speeches about income inequality.
I mean, think about it. You'll have catered food on the private jet.
Yeah.
You'll have a limousine pick you up.
Champagne.
If you had to stay overnight, you'll stay at the Ritz-Carlton.
Yep.
Yeah, income inequality, what, between king and queen or between the heads of nations? What are you talking about?
Right.
Oh.
She is such a fraud. It is so ridiculous. She's... Unfortunately for him, a John Kennedy type Democrat.
Well, I mean, I can see that not liking him.
Oh, yeah.
But I think he might have appeal a little bit to Republicans.
Well, to the center,
he's
anyway.
a national defense guy, I know that.
Yeah, to the center he would. By the way, folks, Jim Webb, former senator, I believe, from Kentucky, and he resigned from the Senate one term, and he was former Navy, and he is very pro-America, and he's a Democrat. And I believe he was a veteran of the Iraq War as well.
I mean, he's definitely coming out.
Yeah, well, he's contemplating running, and he's been quietly building his organization. He's actually, in my opinion, the best of the Democratic candidates. What I mean by that, the most capable of being a decent president. Now, Hillary is the best of the candidates in terms of being positioned right now to actually win. She would be, along with Bernie Sanders, the worst of the candidates. And not followed by too far from that guy who was the governor of Maryland there. His name's
O'Malley.
O'Malley.
Oh, yeah, Joe.
Yeah. Webb is actually to be a decent leader. But that's what we're keeping from ever getting the Democratic nomination.
That's what I would like to hear is economic policy. Because I think he would lean more toward the right than the left.
He would be more of a moderate, maybe some moderate tax cuts type thing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I'm looking forward to him jumping in because I still think when they start the debates that a guy like Webb could really do a job with Hillary too. I don't know how verbal he is.
He's a smart guy. One thing that, once again, gets back to image, he doesn't smile a lot. I mean, he's a serious man. And he takes what he's doing serious. He's Navy, he was an officer in the Navy, so he's kind of no nonsense, right. Which is good leadership skills.
Right, but not always
great politics, exactly. And so, but his words would be strong. His words would be powerful. How he delivers them is going to be a whole other thing. No.
Now, last weekend, and then like Hillary out at the Iowa or something, jumped in front of him for the best of the coming out party. Oh, he has to be happy about that, right?
I think she probably, if she's smart, understands that he probably, in terms of the Democratic primary, actually represents the biggest threat because he is a serious person,
right?
And he could seriously be seen as the leader. People, flip around kind of over Bernie Sanders and stuff.
But come on.
Nobody sees him actually as being a leader.
Right.
Okay, they kind of like his ideas and his flowery language and stuff, but they don't actually, I believe, picture him as a leader. They can picture Jim Webb as a strong leader. Like I say, he's a John Kennedy type Democrat.
I mean, I actually picture him as he could be a tough challenge to the Republican Party if he were nominated.
I don't think so, but if he were to be nominated, I think he would be, because once again, people could see him in that leadership position, you see, and they could see him being a good leader. And
we also have to see his rhetoric style. I mean, I don't know how aggressive he is.
He can be. I
would think he probably could be having a military background.
And I remember when he was running for Senate, he ran a good campaign, and he was a for the Senate. It's something a little bit different. He does know how to run a campaign. He did not like being in the Senate, which will work to his advantage. And so if he gets into it, and he gets into it seriously, he'll make it interesting on the Democratic side.
Now, when do their debates begin?
The Republican debates begin in August.
But when do the Democrats?
They have
No
not,
time limit. We
they
haven't
have
figured
not,
out.
They have not
She
even
don't want to talk,
announced
so we're
anything.
not.
She is not going to
But
debate.
you know what? They may shut it down.
Hillary Clinton is.
She doesn't want to debate.
She is not going to debate. Maybe not even in the general election. And she will come up with some reason why not. They will come up with an issue to make it look like the other side is picking on her, you see. But in reality, she doesn't want to get anywhere near a debate stage.
It's going to be so embarrassing if you have a tough guy.
Well, because you have so many dumb voters out there.
Oh, yeah.
Gullible people who will, just buy into the flash and want to be in on the fad.
Oh, yeah.
Another
I'm a
fad.
Democrat. Well, what does that mean? I don't know. I'm a Democrat.
Yeah,
Oh.
I want to be a part of history. I want to elect the first woman president.
Yeah.
Like we
did
made history.
8 years ago. Right?
Yeah, we're still trying to live that now. All right, when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about Ted Cruz, and I'm going to tell you about Luca. Let me see what the guy's last name is here.
Luca Brasi. I can tell you about him. He's looking for you right now.
Actually,
Add an S and he has my name.
It's close. It's Luca Magnotta.
He's probably looking for you. Come on.
Luca Magnotta. We'll be back.